Hi, my name is Tiffany Dahlquist, and I'm going to be discussing my paper, Integrating Literacy and Mathematics in the Elementary Classroom for Teaching and Learning 524. My research topic and rationale, I decided to do integration of literacy into mathematic instruction. Why I chose to do that, it was a passion inquiry for me. I felt that these were two very important subjects in the school, and they're also the two subjects that I'm most passionate about. I'm going for my reading master's, um, but I've always been a very passionate math teacher as well. So I thought that was the perfect topic for me because it took my two favorite parts of school and kind of meshed them together. These were the most useful resources I read. The first one, promoting student buy-in using writing to develop mathematical understanding. From that one, it talked all about writing and explaining your thinking in math, and it provided a really nice writing rubric that the authors of the study ended up creating with students. So it was partially student made, which made it a lot more attainable to the students, and they felt more pride in using it. So I thought that was really interesting. Another one is connecting reading and mathematical strategies. That one was really important to my paper because it talked about how the two subjects related to each other. It talked a lot about in reading, you look at comprehension, like do you understand what the story is about? And in math, it's looking at comprehension as in do you understand the problem? Do you know what you're supposed to be trying to find? And there was a whole bunch of different ways, but it kind of shed a new light on how the two subjects really did work together. And then the third one was the content area literacy in the mathematics classroom. This is one where I got a couple of my big ideas for how to see it in the classroom. They talked about the Freyer model, where you can break down the math terms and show it in different ways to make it more understandable for children. And then it also showed me this really cool thing called a Q matrix, where it's just a series of different question stems, and you kind of play it as a game where you cut up the question stems, and then each kid will draw a question stem, and then they have to create a question using that stem that has to do with the mathematic lesson that they just heard. So it really gets them thinking deeply about that topic. So my argument and what I learned, integration is not a new thing. It's been around for a long time. It was really interesting to look through the standards that go along with math and trying to find ones that had literacy-based things in it. So there was a lot about explaining things or showing like a drawing or something, because those are all part of literacy. It helps to really deepen the understanding of what the student's trying to learn. It makes them think on a whole nother level, and yeah, it just really helps the student be able to explain things, which shows that they're understanding it more. And then I was pleasantly surprised with how many different ways there were if you wanted to implement the two together and integrate them into your own classroom. So it was nice to be able to look through that. Like I mentioned, it talked about the Freyer model, the Q matrix, even the writing rubric if you want to do some more writing in your math class. So yeah, that was my paper about integrating literacy and mathematics in the elementary classroom.